Hey y'all, it's January the 1st, 2017. Alright, and I wanted to have a talk with y'all real quick. Or actually, kind of a lengthy talk with y'all. Alright, I was inspired to do so by a video that I just watched, and I left a link down there if you want to watch it as well. It's a video by a young lady by the name of Lauren Southern. Now, I've known about this lady from the internet for quite some time now. Alright, I like most of her stuff, alright. She made a video, and real briefly, the video is about how people who don't like Donald Trump, who did not vote for him, a lot of them people are starting to buy guns. All right, and I'm gonna explain how that's very significant here in a second. But I wanted to talk to you about this. It is the tribulation, is what I wanted to talk to you about, and I know that you're gonna make note of the fact that I talk about that a lot. I'm sorry about that, but the thing is this. That's all I have to talk about, basically. Alright? Because everything that you see, or that I see, is playing a role in this process called the tribulation, which is a divide. And it'll inevitably divide one group of people from the other group of people forever and ever. The end. That'll be the end. So divide is taking place. You might note that throughout the Bible there's a people called prophets, and they could tell you what's coming down the pike. You know what I'm saying? Pretty soon. Basically because they have the sense enough to read the tea leaves or the writing on the wall. And they could tell you what's coming pretty soon, but there is no prophet that could tell you just in all the ways that the tribulation will take place. It's a process that in and of itself has many, many millions and millions of different little processes going on inside of it. Millions and millions of different dividing lines where people choose to go their separate ways. Alright. And then you also notice that in the Bible, all throughout it, it divides people into certain groups. And basically, when you break it down, it's certain, gangs, communities, families, tribes. The Bible divides us in this ways, and what we don't understand is those are the only ways that we should be divided. All right. So in that regard, it's funny that people put so many titles on themselves. All right, because basically you're going to be putting yourself in a group of all sort of strangers who you don't know, and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a part of this group." When you give yourself any sort of title, unless you know all those people and you know what they're like and their personality, it's hard to vouch for other people. All right. I mean, in a way that child pedophilia is very rampant. It's rampant throughout all sort of cultures, every culture basically. All right, it's in there somewhere. All right, so it don't matter what kind of group you put yourself in. There's gonna be pedophiles in that group, believe it or not. Anyways, that all being said, you're gonna note that speaking in generalities. All right, just speaking in generalities, because see, when you say certain words are buzzwords, and people, they understand what you mean when you say them, because they have divided themselves so much between black and white and Asian and all sort of Eskimos, and it's like all sort of different groups. Two of these groups that you're going to recognize immediately is conservative and liberal. That is, if you live in America, they probably have different words in different countries. But when you say conservative, you automatically think a certain type of person. And when you say liberal, you automatically think of a certain type of person. And What's funny is that they're driven to polar opposites. Nobody should even be putting themselves in the groups of conservatives and liberals. All right, you're grouping yourself in with people who you don't know. All right, but they do. Speaking in generalities, conservatives usually like guns because they understand that more guns equal less crime all the time, every time. All right. See, that's just a formula for success. All right, which means that it is of God for one. But speaking in generalities, when it comes to liberals, they love nothing more than to pass all sort of laws or put people in power to pass all sort of laws. Take away your guns, take away their own guns, take away everybody's guns, except for police and criminals, and also, the army and all sort of criminals. Speaking in generalities, I mean, there's a lot of people, I'm sure, who call themselves liberals who own guns and like guns. But here's what the Trump election did. I mean, it's causing all sort of divides. But here's the thing. These liberals, or more accurately leftists, or whatever kind of title they'll give themselves, for the most part they don't buy guns, or they don't want guns. But now that Donald Trump's in office, now some of them are getting kind of scared. They're like, you know what, this might go all Hitler on us or whatever. It's always what they say. And so now they're running out buying guns. What's funny about this is that for the Democratic Party, which is another title, for the Democratic Party, that's basically, that's a death knell right there. That's one of them. Because if the Democratic Party gets their voters and accidentally makes them like guns, there's no going back from that. You gotta understand, if everybody has guns and everybody wants guns, Democratic Party would not exist the way that you know it today. At all. Same thing goes for abortion. If nobody wanted abortions, Democratic Party wouldn't exist at all. It would be something completely different. Alright, so it's an interesting divide that's been made, and I don't think hardly many people could have called that happening, that now these so-called liberals, I mean these self-entitled liberals, are going out and getting some guns, right? It's called freedom. It's called the fact that guns exist. And if you're thinking in realistic terms, the fact that guns exist, you might as well get one. All right, protect your family if you got one and stuff, you love them and stuff. That's the whole point. All right, but this more than likely went ahead and smashed the Democrat. I mean, if this were to multiply, and it has been multiplying, all right, there's groups out there, you see them on the internet talking about like gays for guns, and like all sort of gay people want guns now. All right, this is smashing paradigms. This is breaking boxes. It's kind of like destroying titles in a way, because now the homo people are going out and getting guns. You know what? I like that idea. Let them go get guns. Say the self-entitled liberals are going out and getting them guns. All right. You see, the thing is, I mean, you can blow up all sort of everything, trying to rule the world, which I imagine might be tried or attempted at one point. But it really doesn't matter if everybody's got guns. You don't want to rule that world. Everybody's got guns. All right, the Democrats seem to accidentally be tricking their voters into wanting guns, and that'll be the death of them. It's the tribulation. It's a divide. It's something that no human can control, but we're all part of. And everything that you experience here on Earth has everything to do with preparing you to be on one side or the other. And there will only be two sides. Alright, me too. I'm in this too. I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Hope we make it through. Hope we both make it through. Right, anyway, it's now January the 2nd, 2017, and I'll holler at y'all.